Yo, no intro, no ads, no sponsors, no bullshit. Seems like not too many people want to talk about this subject. Everybody wants to leave all the conspiracy theories alone. What are y'all afraid? Or what happened? Did your balls drop off? That's okay. Have no fear. Luda's here to fill you in on the controversy of this supposed boogeyman of the video game industry. Let's all take a look at this sweet little innocent company called BlackRock. Yeah, that's right. I'm going there. This ought to be fun. Just to sum it up for you, BlackRock is an asset management company based here in the United States that focuses on making investing in public companies easy for non-wealthy people. And how they would accumulate these assets and these large sums of money is that they would help facilitate deals alongside smaller investors who needed counsel in buying something. Sort of like the wise man for Roman Reigns. That in turn allowed BlackRock to use their Wall Street wisdom to entice the wealthy investors to let them pool their investment money together to keep their operations going. Operations that included buying stock in companies you very well heard of. We're talking big business here. Amazon, Microsoft, ExxonMobil. You gotta spend money to make money, right? Now, if you look at it in this context, you can see the opportunity in the gaming market for investors. The gaming industry last year generated over $180 billion. That's BlackRock type of money right there. Why wouldn't they want to get in on this? A company which conspiracy theorists believe partially run the fucking world, where they can potentially insert their power and influence in what we care about, gaming, all assumingly under the eyes and management of one Larry Fink.
You now make a point of that's an investment criteria for you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year. And what we're doing internally is, if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay,
we're doing the same thing.
And so it's just you have to force behaviors, and if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race, or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted. And that's not recruiting, it is development, as Ken said. And ultimately, it's still going to take time, but I am just as much shocked as
this guy's net worth is $1.1 billion. He's a fucking billionaire. Let's keep it real. Billionaires are a different class. They're on another level. Deep down, they really don't give a fuck. If you were a billionaire, you wouldn't give a fuck either, because you would have all the money and the resources to do whatever the fuck you wanted to do. So it's reasonable for a fucking billionaire, for an investment company that makes statements like this, to say to a game studio that needs the money, well, in order for you to receive this little investment for your project, we're going to need you to comply with these little ESG standards that our clients are really into. Oh, what's that now? You feel like I'm forcing you to do something that you don't want to do?
Excellent.
Now, I know there's going to be some people out there that's going to stumble onto this video and they're going to be like, yes, finally someone else is talking about this. Why aren't the big creators talking about BlackRock? And the rest of y'all are going to be like, bro, really? You kidding me right now? Okay. Tell you what, how about you hear from some people other than me?
But if there's one thing we've learned about companies that are constructed for the purpose of ticking off diversity checkboxes, it's that oftentimes they end up having a net negative effect on everything they touch, even going so far as being blatantly racist and or sexist themselves. But if the correct checkboxes are ticked, this qualifies companies like Sweet Baby Inc. to receive ESG investment, or environmental, social, and governance funding. In the case of Sweet Baby Inc., companies like BlackRock are its biggest investor.
Today we're going to take a deep dive into the man who pioneered the concept of ESG. He is the reason why Dylan Mulvaney got a Bud Light. He should actually thank Larry Fink. Larry Fink and 7 other people in 1988 started a company called BlackRock. If you've never heard about it, it's a $10 trillion of assets under management company. That's more than any country in the world except for 2. Ready? China and US. And he's now sitting around saying, you know, the concept of ESG is being weaponized. There's a lot of people saying things about him. Trump tried to get close to him in 2020. Schwartzman said good things about him when they parted ways. Elon Musk on January 16 tweeted, he said the word S in ESG stands for satanic. How BlackRock used ESG to control 88% of S&P 500 companies. Why 88%? Because BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street combined are the largest shareholders in 88% of S&P 500 companies. So imagine these three are best friends at the top, and they get to push their weight and say, hey, you guys got to do this. Hey, you need a little bit more of this. Hey, you better do this, or else we're not going to give you the money on the back end when you need it. Or 88% of the companies they can control. $48 million per year for its work on behalf of the Fed. Number 2, unlimited social credit. Number 3, power. Number 4, influence. Obviously, Larry Fink doesn't need another $48 million, but he does need the social credit, the influence, and the power. BlackRock drove a significant part of that shift by inserting its primary ESG fund into popular and influential model portfolios offered to investment advisors who use them with their clients across North America. The huge flows from such models mean many investors got into an ESG vehicle without necessarily choosing one as a specific investment strategy or even knowing that their money has gone into one.
Now that Mr. Patrick just scared you on how big these motherfuckers are, now you're staring at your video game catalog thinking, oh shit, because you know what this will lead to. You've already seen it. Spider-Man 2, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Based on the conspiracy, we got companies like Sweet Baby Inc. doing their thing, while the invested money in this entire process is supposedly being facilitated by BlackRock. This Larry guy is looking a little bit like Alejandro Sosa right about now. This man is the business brain and drug overlord of an empire that stretches across the Andes. This can't possibly be the case. Say it isn't true. All the Star Wars fans who've been playing all the games are like, nope, not true. And then they realize that EA has BlackRock as an investor and Ubisoft has been working with Sweet Baby Inc.
No, you will die. I have the power to fuck the ones you love.
See, the belief is that developers who don't have the necessary funds to finish their game can get an investment from BlackRock. But the caveat is they have to consult with a diversity and inclusion company so they can dot their I's and cross their T's. You know, switch a character's race from one to another, include a trans, bipolar, unicorn, or whatever the fuck. Done. Presto chango bingo bango. Just so they can meet an ESG standard. It's like BlackRock is the fucking Sith Lord and Sweet Baby Inc. is the apprentice. You're fulfilling your destiny, bitch. Now here's what's interesting. If you're a PlayStation fan or you play PlayStation titles from time to time, listen to this. Because if you've ever had the interest in the possibility of a new God of War game set in Egyptian mythology, you might want to pay attention to this. Here is some stock information on Sony Corporation, the parent company over Sony Interactive that produces all of our PlayStation games. Let's check the investment firms for good old Sony. What do you know? Well, if it isn't our word of the day. See, stuff like this is what can feed into people's beliefs. If you leave points scattered across the board where people can draw lines and then connect the dots, that's when conspiracy theories start coming into the picture. So if you have a company like Sony Santa Monica that might be considering working on a new Egyptian setting God of War game, and you already know that a certain investment company that has a less than ideal reputation has a stake in the process, that is definitely a cause for concern. Let's say Sony Santa Monica does do it. They go with the whole Egyptian thing. If they do go this route, I'm curious to see how Sony Santa Monica does this because there's not that many whites in Egypt. There's not that many people over there from the islands of Caucasus. That country is 90% ethnic. Don't let the Gods of Egypt movie fool you. That movie is bullshit. It's bullshit. That movie got Scottish actors playing Egyptian gods and shit.
Haven't you noticed? We've been sharing our culture with you all morning.
Tall order for Sony Santa Monica. Seems like they might try to consult some people on something like that, wouldn't they? Maybe some consulting firm they already have a previous relationship with this type of matter, perhaps. And see, that's just it. It's just like Sosa said in the movie Scarface. You have a problem, Tony. We have a problem. I think together we can solve all of our problems. And together we will. As gamers, what we have done and what we will continue to do is reject any agenda that's forced onto us. Whether it's the investment firms such as BlackRock, Vanguard, or State Street, whether it's consulting companies such as Sweet Baby Inc., we will make sure that if we don't like it, it'll damn sure not be a worthwhile investment for them. Now, there's some talk that some of these organizations might be pulling out of the ESG game. We'll see how that goes. But I know one thing. If they are starting to pull out, and companies such as Sweet Baby Inc. start to fade away after that, it'll definitely give some credibility to all those conspiracy theories people keep trying to play off like they're nothing. Appreciate you for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, this is Dude from the U. Until next time.